Yo, how's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be telling you about the importance of basically not overbuilding your car or making it too complicated to the point A, you either never finish it, B, when you do finally finish it after like 4 or 5 years, whenever enable, you got to fix something on it. You got to take the headers off, the intake off, the turbos off, just to change some spark plugs, just to, change not the oil necessarily, but maybe the coolant line or something like that. You got to take damn near half the car apart because you've overcomplicated it and you got exhaust pipes and all this and that. The turbo manifolds doing unnecessary stuff. You have 15 different pipe cuts in your, up pipe and your down pipe and your, titanium. Alright, see, look. You just start overcomplicating it, you start spending too much money, you start, you're never going to finish it if you do that. I know everybody says this and, nobody really wants to listen to it, but just get the shit running. Look, once you get it running, if you want to put the turbo on it, you want to put the, crazy 15 pie cuts, in this amount of space because you think it looks cool, go right ahead. You can go ahead and do that. But for most people, they just want a running car, they want to make, 400 horsepower on an LS swap, let's say. You don't need a turbo, you don't need any of that. All you need, intake and a cam. And to be honest, you can use a truck intake because they flow better than the car intakes. Just take your hood off or cut your hood. I mean, yeah, it's not going to look the best, it's not going to be a show car, you might use 3D printed parts like this or, pie cut parts, so you can make your pie cuts. You might use an eBay turbo once you get it running. But look, that's just to get it running. Once you get it running, once you get it all figured out, once you get it taken to the drag strip, then, you want to upgrade your turbo, you want to increase your intercooler, you want to add methanol injection. You can do whatever you want once you get the car running, once you get it going, once you get it swapped, especially if you're doing a swap. If you're doing any sort of engine swap, keep it in A or keep it stock. If it comes with the factory turbo, keep the factory turbo. I know it's not going to be all fun, but if you're taking it, let's say you're doing a Civic or something, if you're taking a 100 horsepower D16 out of it, and you're putting a K24, it's making like 200, 220. I mean, that's a 120 horsepower bump right there. You're going to notice that. And if you got it and all that, yeah, you're going to notice it. You're probably going to run an 11-second pass down there. So you don't need a turbo and all that, Or for the OS guys or the V8 guys, a 302 or something like that, 350 small block guys. Swap it in there, put your TH400 or your 4L60 or whatever you want to put behind it. Get that all in there. And, let's say you got a 350 small block, you want to make like 400. Run a 100 shot on it or a 75 shot and call it a day. That's all you need. That's all you really need. Throw some rods, throw some pistons in it. Same thing with the LS. LS, you don't even need rods and pistons. Just put a cam in it, put some lifters in it, and, call it a day. Put some springs in it too, you probably want to do that. Yeah, same thing with like the 4 cylinders and stuff like that. Like my case, my turbo's blown up, so I'm going to swap in this bigger eBay turbo I showed you guys. And I'm going to just get it running. Once I get it running, once I get it to the track, hopefully, I got an 8th mile. Hopefully I can run them 7, 9 or 8. Hopefully. I was running like 950s. On the last turbos, this turbo is supposed to support like 450 wheel horsepower is what it says. It's $100. If it does that, the Ecotech's probably gonna blow up. And then we're gonna swap in a 3.6 GM engine once the Ecotech blows up. But like stuff like that, I'm just keeping it simple, keeping it easy. It's gonna be easy to work on. I'm just getting it running. And when it blows up, then I'm going to swap the V6. And no, I'm not going to turbo the V6 at first. I'm going to swap in the V6. It makes 300 horsepower to the crane. I'll probably do a 75 shot on it and make about 350 to the wheels. Same thing this puppy is gonna make. And you know, the V6 weighs about the same, to be honest. And it's gonna be a fun car, fun, you know, street, reliable, you know, drag and drive kind of car. Eventually I'm gonna post that road and build it and fuel tech and all that. You know, eventually you get to a complicated, you know, setup, but you've done it in a way that you didn't do it all at once, and you don't, you don't know what you like and what you don't like. Because once you've kind of already got, like, if you want to build a drag and drive car, once you've started doing drag and drives, you know what you want, what works, what doesn't work, you know. Like if you want your fuel pump an in tank, or you want an external tank pump, depending on, you want to make it easier to work on, or do you want to make it quieter? I would say make it easier to work on. Just run an inline pump. But you know, that's the kind of things that you figure out when you don't overcomplicate it from the start, and you keep it simple from the start. Get it running, get it going, you know, get it driving down the street, get it doing some burnouts, stuff like that. But yeah, that's probably gonna be it for this video. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to go down there and hit that subscribe button. It really does help the channel out. We're on the road to 200 subscribers by the end of the year, 2026. You know, hopefully it's gonna be a big year for the channel. But yeah, you know, also let me know down in the comments below, you know, what y'all guys think about it. Do y'all keep it simple? Do y'all just get it running, get it swapped in there, up and going? Or do y'all want to do, you know, the works just from the get-go? I would never do that, but you know, I don't have the money to do that. So, you know, we keep it simple over here. But eBay parts and all that. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Peace.